Uh, Welcome to K.A.E Sports Talk. My name is King. And before we get started on this video, if you could give me the HKO special, help the King out, hit the like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. All right, so today I'm going to talk about uh, Filipino basketball player William Navarro. So for those that don't know who William Navarro is, here's a picture here. So he was apparently going to play in the KBO this year for the Seoul Thunder Samsung Thunder. So that's who William Navarro is, if you see on the thumbnail. So let's see, I want to get to the article and I'm going to tell you what's going on, why William Navarro, the 6'6" Filipino basketball player, was denied entry to play for the Seoul Samsung Thunders. So let's get to this article from the Tiebreaker Times. So I will summarize what's going on. So SBP on William Navarro, players need to respect agreement. So there's some fine print issues. So let's look at it. The Samahang Basketball Filipinas, which is, the Gilas Philippines team organization, explained why it had to deny Navarro's request for a letter of clearance to complete the transfer to the Samsung Seoul. So that was the only document needed. So the statement by SVP Executive Director Sonny Barrios explains that they could not request Navarro the clearance to complete his transfer to the KBL for the team's Samsung Seoul Thunder. He is still contract as a full-time as the Gilas player, which is the national Philippines basketball team. Moreover, he was the second-round pick in the 21 PBA rookie draft. Gilas round. The only team Navarro can join is Northport, which is part of the PBA, for those that don't know, the Philippines Basketball Association. And recently, the Korean Basketball Association requested FIBA for a letter of clearance for Navarro to play with the Samsung Thunders in Korea. However, Navarro had an existing contract to play for the national team, attend activities, practices, social and business functions, and secondly, with his undeniable agreement, he'd be assigned to only no other than team or ball club than the team that drafted him, which is Northport. So that's kind of a bum deal. And after carefully reviewing the positions of the KBA and the SBP, FIBA FIBA issues a decision not to allow Navarro to join Samsung Thunders. FIBA upheld that he still has an existing and legally binding contract preventing him from doing so. So an LLC is granted to players transferred from one country to another, making sure that they are free agents. It was also made clear that Navarro was getting paid on a monthly basis by the federation until March 31st of 2023. So prior to the FIBA Asia Cup, the Thunders announced that it signed Navarro. So the SCP would have easily granted Navarro his LLC had there been no bond between him and the Federation. The SCP respect players' rights to look for greener pastures, but players also need to respect agreements they have entered into with their teams, read the statement. So the SCP does not intend to unduly prevent players from furthering their careers with other teams here or overseas, but it is a fundamental and ethical practice for players to honor their existing contracts with their mother teams. Okay, so there's the article. Okay, so we're dealing with some fine print issues there. So that's the statement coming from the SBP. So, but I want to bring up the article where Kai Soto put out a tweet about the decision for William Navarro. So let's see. I want to read the article, guys. Don't do this crap to me. Okay, so let me make sure we got the article up, ready to go. Okay, so here's Kai Soto. So there's Kai Soto and William Navarro. And for those that know, I cover Kai Soto in his Instagram story and Twitter account. The late 36ers big man said this tweet. So I'm gonna read the tweet in big bold. He says, "I'm sorry, but this is crazy. This has to stop. You got players who've been working hard and dreaming to play basketball at the highest level they can reach, and we got our own people stopping us from achieving greatness. So of course, here's lately, even if I've been looking at the post for the local scene, PBA stand on Japan Exodus, total BS and crab mentality, says Slaughter. So, of course, the term crab mentality has come into play. So, for those that haven't been to the Philippines or, deal with Philippines culture, they have a thing called crab mentality. We actually have it in almost every culture around the world, but that's what one of the first things I learned when I was in the Philippines. So, here's the thing. Here's my take on it. Due to fine print, I think they could have figured a way to let William Navarro go play in the KBL. Because currently I am in South Korea. I was looking forward to checking out William Navarro, see what he can do. And, of all places, best place, Seoul. He's in the biggest city in South Korea. The arena holds about 8 to 10,000 fans, And the messed up thing is, you took away his livelihood to make some money, but apparently he's still getting paid monthly. But, in hindsight, okay, there's the contract, the fine print. I get it. Okay, fine. But I've known they've made exceptions. They could have made an exception to send William Navarro off to Korea. All it does is you get a lot of these players from the Philippines, not just to earn good money and to earn money to help with generational wealth, but it could help with the experience playing against better competition. Because if you guys don't know, Philippines is known for the 3Bs, boxing, basketball, and beauty pageants. Basketball has been kind of slacking lately. And even the locals will tell you, especially for the first time in the Southeast Asia games, they lost to Indonesia, which was a huge shock to me. And then they're getting beat teams by like Lebanon. That just recently happened in the qualifiers. So, the U.S. Philippines needs some help here. And, the way to help their program is to get these players some experience against better competition, because you're not going to get, they got lucky to have Jordan Clarkson, but you're not going to be able to get too many Filipino AMs. So there's certain restrictions and, things they have to follow. But in my thinking is, why? Why not let him out of his contract? Let him get experience against those players in the KBL. He's a 6'6". He's probably the tallest of the 6 players going to South Korea. So at least he can get in the post and bang a little bit in South Korea. So, you took away an opportunity for him to earn some generational wealth for his family, but then you took away a year of experience that could have benefited William Navarro. And, of course, I could be a little biased because I'm in South Korea. I wanted to see him play. So of course, now we're down to 5 players here in South Korea. But these players need the experience. It's going to build a better program for the U.S. Philippines, And, Navarro has that experience, that pedigree, He can do it out there, just like, reminds me of even Carl Tamayo. So there's a lot of talent pool in the Philippines, even in the college stages, in the Philippines, where now some of these college players, it's going to be like what we do in the States, the one and done, or to go to G League right away. So there's some talent pool locally in the Philippines where these KBL teams, the B League, because already in the B League, we got over 13 Filipino players, and then KBL has now joined that part. Said, hey, we're gonna bring some Filipinos over to Korea too, so we can compete with the B League. So right now in the Asia, B League is probably one of the top leagues right now, and got a lot of good imports there too, and a lot of the Filipinos there. They contribute really well, like Dwight Ramos, Bobby Ray Parks, and I can go on more and more on the list, but it'll take me a whole 2 hours to do that. So that's my take on it. Yeah, it sucks for Navarro. I'm disappointed. I think he should get an opportunity to play. I think something could have been done, but hey, it is what it is. sad to say, but we'll just have to stay tuned for a whole season, and maybe next year I'll get to see William Navarro in South Korea. All right, well, that's it for this video. So, before I go, please, if you and again, give me the HKO special, help the king out. So if you could hit that like and comment on what do you think about the denial for William Navarro, and subscribe if you like sports. All right, other than that, take care, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.